Okay, there we go. Alright. Oof. Hold on. I'm gonna introduce it. Let me just make sure that it's back on the computer right and focused. There we go. Here we go. Yay! This is a lot better than the last time people can hear you. That's good. Okay. There it is. Okay. If you guys don't know, this is our fam, Native Grammy, in the chat. She makes these beautiful incenses, and I did get some from her, and they're absolutely fantastic. And I am actually filming this for my channel, so Val, do I have permission to film this for YouTube? Ooh. Okay. Do I have your permission to film the video for YouTube? Okay. I always ask, just to make sure people know. Okay. Yeah, I'm sitting down with her to do a reading, and I was catching up with her and trying to talk to her about a couple of things I picked up on, because I wanted to make sure I was connecting with the right person's family, things like that, when I was going through this. And I did feel, okay, the person, I felt immediately that 4 people stepped forward to me, and I did feel that there was 2 grandmothers. There was mom and dad's grandmother or mother are on the other side, so I felt them. There's one male that was older, a father figure, and I felt he was on the other side. And you confirmed that your dad is passed away.
Yes.
And then yeah, both dads, yeah, because I'm not for sure, because there's a situation here, because I was making sure, because it was like I was getting mixed messages, because I was hearing unclear about who was who, and then come to find out she was actually adopted. So people that I'm picking up on or whatever, yes, they are technically her family. Some of them are not biologically related to her, but for all intents and purposes, they are your family, okay? So I'm like...
My parents let me know my family. They let us know my family, so I knew both families.
Yeah, so you were...
back here to get to know them.
Exactly.
Better.
And that's why I was unclear about why I was picking up on, like, mixed family. It was like I felt like I was like hearing like dad over and over again, but then I was like, I'm dad too, and like dad, that kind of stuff. And I was like, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, so I had to validate that with her, because I was so unclear with that. When I wrote that down, I was like, what is he talking about? But
my mom and dad told me that my biological dad used to come and visit me when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really remember him or no. I have a picture of him.
Yeah, I was getting the feeling that the person that I picked up on, the father figure that I picked up on, whatever, the male that I picked up on that passed from like the stomach, liver disease and alcoholism, that's what I was picking up on. Something to do with complications due to alcoholism. I felt it was kind of like just, a lot of drinking. But was this your actual father?
That was my biological father.
Okay.
And my father I grew up with died of kidney failure.
Okay, then that's where because the pain that I was getting related to like these male figures, whatever, was I got liver disease and alcoholism, and then I wrote down like stomach area. You know what I mean? Like I kept feeling stuff like in my stomach area. And I'm like, but I wasn't pinpointing the exact location, because I was hearing, like, that's what I was saying. I was getting mixed signals of what I was hearing, because there's multiple people that you called dad, you know what I mean, or would be dad.
Yeah.
So that kind of messed with me a little bit. But I was like, but eventually once I cleared it with her, she understood exactly what I was saying, and then I did right away get up. There was a sister. I did feel female, and I did get cancer and heart related, and I felt that she was in her 40s.
Yes.
Okay. And then, yeah, I'm like, I know sometimes,
she was ill. She was pretty ill.
Yeah, it was shown to me, like, I saw, like, multiple, like, prescription bottles and stuff. So, like, I felt like she was sick for a long time. And it was really confusing to me because I even wrote down, like, with a question mark, like, maybe drug related, like a mixed medication thing or something, like, happened. You know what I mean? Like, didn't work right together. And I'm like, but I wasn't picking up on, like, an overdose or, like, a suicide. I was picking up on, like, something went wrong with medication that was prescribed for her during an illness, or she was very ill and sick, and that was a way of validating that, is, like, her way of showing me, like, yes, I was really sick. This is what she's going to recognize. You know what I mean? Like, that's what she's going to know. So that's the validation I got from her. And then I ended up feeling something to do with another male, and it's a brother, and I felt that he passed due to, like, some kind of car accident. And the car accident, I felt like he was ultimately taken out of this world from that accident or whatever. I felt that there was some divine intervention involved, though, because I felt that somebody else was supposed to be in that vehicle and never made it into that vehicle. And so I felt like there was a reason that this person never made it into the vehicle, and I felt that that was a younger boy. And I'm like, I felt like a younger male, and I possibly his son, and that's what I picked up on.
Yes.
But I mean,
a trucking accident.
I felt that there was a divine intervention in that, though, because I feel like he was supposed to be in that vehicle at the time, and somebody said, nope, I'll take him, you know, or I'll have him, whatever, you go do your thing or something, whatever, and come back later. And it's like, if they wouldn't have done that, then this little boy would have been hurt too. And so I feel like you guys would have ended up having 2 losses instead of 1.
Yeah, he used to take the kids for hauls on his hauls with him, so he just didn't go that time.
Okay, he was a long haul truck driver.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for your loss. This is that, and then there's. Okay, and then I got something to do with the number 6 and the number 12. So how does that relate to you in the situation with your brother and the young male, the boy?
My nephew, he was probably approximately 6 at the time, and his birthday is in December.
Okay, that's Dad's way of validating to me that he knows that this is the month of December and that his son's birthday is here, so that's why he made that relevant to me. Is like, because I literally put 6 and 12 and then I circled it. Like, it's almost like they made me circle it, like, this is important. So I'm like, I really feel like he's trying to validate that he knows that it's his son's birthday and that he is there with him. Okay? So he will be there and he is there with him during that. And then, okay, the grandmother that I got, I felt was Dad's mom. And I felt that you got a lot of your passion for crafting and stuff, or like artistic nature things, from her. And she was showing me another thing too, like there was a blanket or something, and I felt that it was made for you. Did she make some sort of like cloth item for you, like a blanket or a something or another? But I'm like, I saw something like almost like it was draped over you as a child.
Not that I know of. I know my mom's mother was really crafty. She wanted to give me her native name, but
okay.
I never knew her. Okay. The only thing that I have that could possibly be it was a Pendleton blanket that my mom gave me. I don't know if that was hers or not.
Okay, it is a possibility that it belonged to Mom's mom or Dad's mom, that blanket, and it was given to you. So I think that was another way of them validating, because I wouldn't know that they pass on a blanket to you. I'm like, I wouldn't know that. I'm like, I wouldn't know that that's something that they would do or make or give. And I'm like, but I do see, I did see something to do with cancer and chest related for, I believe it's the, oh, did I write down if it was Mom or Dad's mom? Okay, the sister that passed, it would be your guys' mother, so would that be, let me see, it'd be your guys' mother, so mom. I'm thinking it's mom's mom, and I'm like something to do with cancer and chest related as well with her. I feel that both sister and her passed from similar things.
And my mom, my native mom, she had a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
She passed. She was at my house. And
does her name or something to do with her name have the letter M in it?
No.
Okay, then maybe I'm picking up. I had something or somebody's name with an M. But let me see here. And then I got the number 6 involving her too. I wrote it down next to her name. Grandmother.
Tony and my mom's. Or, I don't know.
Yeah, I wrote down the number 6 for some reason next to her name, or next to the grandmother, and I wrote down cancer and chest. Could be mom.
I didn't know. Oh, my mom had a heart attack.
Okay.
Her birthday was May 15th, so I don't know what that could be.
Okay, maybe it could be something to do with the day she died, or do you know what her day of death was?
26th of September.
Okay.
1995.
Okay. Maybe I was picking up on the 6 to do with that little boy still when I wrote it up there. I don't know. I think. I seriously, when I jot down stuff, it looks like a maze. No joke. It does. It looks like, okay. Back to square one.
There we go.
Yay!
Yeah.
We're back to one.
I got it.
But I was like, I got the, literally, it felt like while I was sitting here, it felt like somebody handed me a box, and it was like a little wooden box, kind of like your lighter cherry oak looking something, and it had like a little metal clasp.
Like
Huh?
I got a couple boxes like that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got like it had a little like brass metal clasp on it or whatever, and like it was little, like it had like that, and the reason why it reminded me of it is because the design on your ceiling, it reminds me of like the way that clasp looked on the box. The little clasp, the way you lift it up, it has like, it comes down to like a little point and then it lifts up. And I felt like you found some jewelry items and photographs you didn't know were there of your mother's. Because I felt this.
Pictures and stuff.
Yep. I said I felt that it was like mother's.
Yeah.
I was getting the impression it was mother's belongings, and she wanted you to find them. So I really feel like you weren't even expecting to find this particular box, and it was almost like a random moment, and it was almost like you felt compelled to go somewhere, and you went in there and opened it up, and that's when you found the box. And so she was kind of validating that's the moment she was there. So she was kind of validating that to me, that she was there with you, like nudging you to do that. She wanted you to find it. She wanted you to have pieces of her to remember her by, and like memorabilia and things, and like other pictures that you didn't know exist. And I think it's because, you know, some of the situations that you've been in your life or whatever, like you needed a little reminder and a little refresher of how much you were loved. And she was there.
I was wondering, would you know if they know that we've been at their graves and cleaning their graves and everything?
Oh yeah.
Have you heard anything about that? Flowers on them and cleaning them.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they're with you. You know what I mean? In these moments, like I'm not seeing like I see that there's things being done or whatever, but it's like they haven't showed me that part or whatever. But like I feel like because she even gave me that image of the box.
My native family.
Yeah, like the box that I had to open, you know, and stuff, and like opened it up and found jewelry and stuff in it. That's her way of validating that she is around you. like, still nudging you, guiding you for things, whatever. And it's like, I know that if she's validating that for me and you now, then she's basically saying to me that she's with you when you do these things. So, like, she knows that you're putting stuff on there. And I'm like, did you happen to put, I just heard, like an angel or something, like a, there's a figurine or something, like a little angel or something, whatever. Did you just put that on her tombstone recently?
I put a, I put a cross on there along with my picture and her picture, my brother's pictures. But there was a small little, like, flower holder, and it was broken. It was ceramic, and it was broken. And I took it, and I fixed it. I glued it back together and fixed it, and then I took it back and put it back on there.
Okay.
And put a couple little flowers in it. I think that's what was on it, was Angel.
Okay, that makes sense, because, like, literally when we were just talking about, she was giving me, like, the impression that, it was something smaller or whatever, and that she saw you place it there. So.
It was a small box. This little ceramic box.
Yep, and I got in my image, like, when I was, like, kind of looking at it, it was like, I wanted to say it was about that big. So I was like, you know, something about that size.
I thought about throwing it away, and I thought, well, all the pieces are here. I'll just put it back together. Somebody put it there with love, so I'm going to put it back together and put it back on there.
That's awesome. So, yeah, showing me the angel symbol, or the figurine, that was her way of acknowledging that, yeah, she sees that you're putting stuff on her grave and cleaning it. And that's also their way of, like, thanking you for still taking care of them like that. I'm like, did you happen to do, like, a blessing? Because, like, I kind of saw something to do with, like, sage or something, like you did, like, a blessing or something at their grave. Or for them.
Yeah, like, not sage, but yeah.
Something, like, yeah, like, I don't know what it was, but, like, I'm not for sure if it was sage, but I saw some sort of, like, something. Yeah, but it was like, I saw that, like, you kind of did, like a blessing thing, like you were walking around their grave, like, they gave me the impression that you kind of did, like, a circle, as if you were, like, blessing the surroundings and the ground that they were laying in. Does that make sense? So I was like, so that's what I was getting, and I'm like, I kind of felt like it gave me the impression, like, what I do when I sage my home, you know, like, when I'm blessing my home. So it felt like you were blessing that area, you know, making sure that, like, other people's energy wasn't affecting theirs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're there, and I'm like,
yeah, that's my native family. That's the others are my Caucasian family is down in Idaho, and my dad was cremated. I don't even know where his ashes are now. I think my sister has them.
well, I feel like when these 4 people automatically step forward to me, I feel that when I get these kind of messages, or when I'm doing these kind of readings, that the only reason that they're validating this to me is that they're already at peace. Okay? So it means that they've already crossed over and they don't have, like, unfinished business here. Okay? Now, like, I can get, like, the impressions and stuff, whatever. I am not, like, some of those, like, other mediums, like, where they can, like, they sense, like, the darkness and all that. I'm like, I do get, you know, images and feelings around people, you know, like, if it's negative and stuff. But I work with love and light. And so a lot of times, like, I ask anything negative to step aside. And if it's not of love and light or God's protection, then I don't want it near me, because I'm like, I don't want to have to feel that, you know what I mean? So it's like, so I don't see people, like, in their death state all the time. I don't see stuff like that. It's just, but I do pick up on past loved ones and, like, how they passed or where they passed, and, like, if somebody was in the room with them. And I do feel, and that's my next topic of discussion, is that I felt like you were not in the room. You were not able to say goodbye to somebody. There was somebody in this scenario, and I felt a survivor's guilt. Almost like you feel bad that you weren't able to say goodbye, and you feel like because of that, it's holding you back from moving forward. Does that make sense?
Probably for most of them.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for any of them, I believe, during their passing. Well, I was there with my brother just the day before he passed away. I was taking care of him. And then the next day I had to work. I was working in the daytime then. I had to work, and he passed away that day. My nephew called me and said he wasn't waking up. So.
Well, here's another thing though.
We did our native thing.
This is another thing that I always kind of let people know too, is if you weren't there at the time of their passing, it was for a reason. Because of some of the things that have happened to you in the past, which I won't discuss on here. I don't like to try to bring up negative stuff. If you want to talk about some of that stuff in private, I'm more than willing to do that, but I don't like to videotape people's scandals and dirt. You know, I mean, I want them to feel that this is for peace. This is for validation. This is for love, not, you know. And I'm like, and I don't try to come across as rude or anything to people. Like, I really do try my best to keep as much emotion to this as possible, because I really do feel, like I'm starting to cry right now, because like I feel like I've sensed some of the disappointment in the past and the things that have happened that I'm getting the impression of. And I feel like because of some of that, they knew that you being in the room at the time would actually be harder for you than to be separated from it. So I kind of feel like they went in peace without you being there, because they wanted you to remember them when they were alive, when they were happy, and what you did and the memories you made with them. If you're not in the room, it's for a reason. And it's not because they didn't want you there. It's because they wanted to make sure that you, after all of it was done, that you were going to be okay. I think being there would have been harder.
When my Caucasian dad passed away, he had moved back here. He wasn't found for a week. So, you know, I kind of felt bad about that, because he moved here kind of sort of be close to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only one near, the only child near.
Okay, so, that explains some of, like,
he always had a hard time getting a hold of us. He always had a hard time calling us and getting a hold of us. And, you know, he'd come up for holidays and stuff, but up and out.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like guilt about that. Like, I felt there was some unresolved guilt involving a family member's passing. Okay, so, like, I wasn't for sure the exact person it was or whatever, but I felt it was more leaning towards the males. Like the brother and the father figure. And I was like,
he wasn't found for a week, and it was like 100-degree temperatures outside. It was awful.
And is this the one that had cancer?
He knew. He's the one that had kidney failure.
Kidney failure. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. The bio dad had kidney.
And he knew he was dying. He was my Caucasian dad.
Okay.
He knew he was going because he started to write out a will on a piece of paper and stuff. Then I called my other sister. I called my two sisters.
Did he have diabetes as well?
No, I don't think so.
I was like, I don't know why, but I felt something to do with sugar. No, who had the pancreatic?
My brother.
Okay. Okay, yeah, the other male, not the brother that died from the car accident, the other brother. Okay, that makes sense. Because I was picking up on something to do with diabetes in a male, and I was like, I think it, and I kept feeling pancreas, so. Okay.
Possibly. God, he was so skinny. It was awful.
Yeah, I'm like, I think he suffered from some sort of diabetic thing too, so. And I'm like, I don't know why, but I'm like, was he like in his 30s or 40s when he passed? Like, was he younger?
He was older.
I caught it in time. Yay. Okay. But yeah, I was like, there was an unexpected death. There was something to do with I'm just trying to figure out how she passed. Oh yeah, head. Something to do with the aneurysm.
I think that was what it was.
Yeah, something to do with the head and like brain. Like I felt it like right here. It was like something right here in my head. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. Okay. And I was like, oh, I'm trying to figure it out, but alright. Now, I was gonna say, I was like, the cards that I have Talking to Heaven. These are gonna be because we did this kind of reading first. These are more of like a validation or confirmation. That's what I call them, like confirmation reading. And I'm like, so I use my Talking to Heaven cards whenever I do readings online for this kind of situation. Some people that want readings because they've had like relationship issues and things like that, I tend to go for like life purpose. Trying to help them out with like maybe present day situations. But messages from the guides and Talking to Heaven tend to be the go-to cards for me when it's more for advice or confirmation from loved ones that are passed. The confirmation comes like these things are just, I'm telling you, this deck is amazing. And I'm like every time I pull a card, I'm like, I still to this day am in shock. Yeah. I'm in shock. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't.
I've heard a lot of them.
And it's like I can't explain it, but it's like I'm in shock all the time with these cards because it feels like they are dead set, dead right on for the right person. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the readings that I do for people that are online like this or whatever, and I have more time, I will actually feel for more cards than just one, because during a reading online and it's live and there's a bunch of people, it's hard to do more than one card at a time. But like when you're doing a, private reading, I actually have a little bit more time to be able to settle it out a little, But, okay. I'm going to take a drink, though, because this involves reading. Oh, man, oh, man. I got a hole in my lip. Huh. Alright. Yeah, I tend to pick up on emotions a lot too. And I'm like, I try to control the emotion as much as possible, but there are times when I can't hold it back. And I'm like, I do my best not to, but I'm like, I try to be the strong one for people because I understand, like if the person that's trying to help them is breaking down, it makes it a little harder for them to do, the reading.
It's hard because there's a lot of lots. Besides the ones we've already talked about, there's lots more.
Yeah, I actually wrote down though that I was like yes, that I felt immediately right away that 4 people stepped forward, but I literally felt like there was a lot. Like I wrote big family and I wrote lots of loss, like right next to it. Big family, lots of loss. Okay, and I'm like so what it is there may be some people that step forward to me were giving me information, but because there's so many of them, there may be significant things that happen in your past that I might not have picked up on. But the part that people need to understand is Spirit is going to give us what we need to hear, not what we want to hear. It's what we need for validation, for comfort, for peace and closure. So what they're doing is they're validating through me what they see you doing, or what's going on now, or something like that. A way to be able to have a tangible way to show it. So like me picking up on that jewelry box, I'm like, I had no idea you had some cherry oak antique clasp box that had like a latch that looks like your ceiling. You know what I mean? I'm like, she literally told me it looks like the one that has like the longer diamond shaped point. That's what the clasp looks like or whatever. And I'm like, that's what she said. She said it looks like, the clasp looks like that point. So, and I'm like, I didn't know you had hand painted ceilings. I'm like, they're gorgeous. I'm like, I swear people think that I Google them. And I'm like, half of them I don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? I'm like, they'll come to me on Facebook or whatever, and I'm like, I finally know their real name outside of a chat name. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So there could be like 150,000 Valerie Smiths all over the United States and around the world. And I'm like sitting over here like, I would have to know what city, state you're from, like who your family members are, like what your date of birth is. Like there could be 15. Well, yeah, but I'm like, there could be 15 Valerie Smiths in Idaho or Michigan or what? Who knows? You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna be able to figure that out, right? I'm like, Google's good, but it's not that good.
And it took me about a week, maybe a week and a half to do the ceiling.
It's gorgeous, though.
Yeah.
I
border.
I knew you were talented.
On there.
I got your incense burning over here. I got one of the dragon's blood. The sage. I'm sorry. I got the sage one burning because I pulled that one out for the reading and put it in here, so then that way I could fill the room with your family's energy. Because it's a piece of you since you put your heart.
Did you ever see a burner like that?
Huh?
Did you ever see a burner like that?
Oh no, that's cool.
That's really cool. So the bottle holds all the dirt, all the muck.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's a hole in the side that puts the air in, so the smoke will go out.
Nice.
Get that at Smoke Shop. The Smoke Shop sells those.
That's cool. I actually have I have wind chimes out in my yard that are glass bottles like that or whatever. Some of them are I think one's pink, one's blue, one's orange, and one's green, and they got little beads and stuff that hang from them, whatever. So when they go in the wind, and it's there's a glass bead or something in it, and it kind of dings it, And I'm like, I like to have chimes or whatever. I love having chimes around the yard because I'm like, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Yeah.
So I always try to make sure I keep stuff like that around, and it helps to keep away bad dreams or negative things in your land and things like that. So I pay attention. I think I shuffled.
I've learned so much since I've come here. It's our native funerals are 3 days long.
Holy cow! Really?
So whenever a Caucasian, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to wear.
Right?
Because for ours, we're supposed to dress